Today we're rating Custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit. We're gonna start it off with Fool Me Once, a blue 1 generic counter target spell. However, if Fool Me Once targets a spell that shares a name with a card in a graveyard, it costs blue 1 less to play. Shouldn't be just like one blue less to cast. Would they actually print this card? This is a pretty wild card. I guess they could. It's pretty useless in Commander, I guess. Like, it would just be completely pointless, so it's only a competitive card. How do I feel about this? And only broken decks might be playing this. You know, you're filling up your graveyard to try to do some nefarious things and you're trying to cast some spells? Well, absolutely not. Sure, fool me once. Fool me twice? The point is you don't get fooled again. The point is you don't get fooled again. All right, moving on. We've got, can't see this whole thing. We've got the Magikarp and Gyarados. So Magikarp for 1 red. I didn't even know Magikarp would be a red creature. I actually think it's blue. I actually would do the reverse-y on this. Okay, or, I don't know how. Okay, how does this work? It's got fish. It's a 0/1 with splash. Tap, put an evolve, put an evolution counter on Magikarp. When Magikarp has 10 or more evolution counters on it, transform it. Oh my god. And then we got fly. Does Gyarados fly? Maybe I've never really paid. I guess it does, doesn't it? It just flies in the air like a serpent. It basically becomes a dragon. Flying Trample, Hyper Beam, when Gyarados attacks, it deals 10 damage to any target. It is beyond fair because Magikarp will barely evolve. Almost will never happen. Yeah, so this is it's going straight to the print. I don't know if they want to print this thing. What are the odds that you're able to splash and put an evolution counter on it 10 times? I guess you could double it with like Hardened Scales or something. You know, you use Hardened Scales, doubling season. I'm sure people are really creative out there. You know, is that the day/nightbound symbols? No, not that I know, not that I understand. It's Oh, come on, it's not Digimon. What, you were born in a cave or something? This is Pokemon. It's absolutely Pokemon. All right, we got Philo with the super chat. Thank you so much. Hey, Nikachu, let's see. Philo, remember, if you pay, we go directly to your card. You just have to give me the name of the post on Custom Magic. Custom Magic is the Reddit. Philo, clever prankster, and Silver Towers. Oh, sorry, only 1 card per super chat. It looks like I got to expand out here. Okay, we got Philo, clever prankster. I just gotta make this smaller. There we go. Blue 2 generic for a 2/2 Merfolk, hexproof from monocolored. Sounds good. Protection from all the removal spells. When Philo, clever prankster, enters the battlefield or attacks, scry 2. Then draw a card if you have at least 2 other blue creatures. Great! They can be any creatures. They can be Kira, Great Glassbender. They can be Subtlety. Fantastic. So we can use more than 1. Is it part of the post, this other card that you submitted? Nope. That's got to be another super chat. Back to the main board. Back to the main place. We got a Hole Breaker. For a red 1 generic, we got a Human Barbarian, a 2/1 creature. Discard a card named Mudhole. Destroy target land. Okay. Discard a card named Break Open. The discarded card deals 4 damage to any target. That is a weird design. Mudhole. So we discard Mudhole from the Hole Breaker, and we blow up lands. Are these actual real cards? Mudhole. It is! It's a real card! Red 2 generic. Is this like, you're trying to put like the story together? Is there a little bit of lore behind all this that I don't know about? Target player removes all land cards in his or her graveyard from the game. Doing okay back there? Oops. All right, well, in that case, I guess so. I don't know. I don't think it's broken or anything. It's a very awkward, odd design. I will say that. That is insanely broken. But you need Mudhole in your hand. And what does it matter? I think it's very hard to use. I think. And it's a creature, so you can just kill it with removal. Maybe that's not a good explanation. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta do 1 per chat. Okay, Valerio Sana, thank you so much for the, thank you very much for the super chat. Today I'm going to show a brand new mechanic. In case it is malice, I accept suggestions. Here's Michiru. Oh god. So we have Michiru Kagemori, the Tanuki girl. Does this have something to do with Mario 3 by any chance? New mechanic. We got for... Oh god, it's got so many words on it. Okay, for 7 mana, we have a 1/6 creature. It's a very unusual power and toughness combination, but okay. It's got... it's a Beastman shapeshifter, changeling, when Michiru Kagemori, the Tanuki girl, enters the battlefield, shuffle all creature cards from your graveyard, and exiled... What? Hold on. Enters the battlefield, shuffle all creature cards from your graveyard and exiled. So I think from exile into your library. And then for Wooburg, until your next turn, this card assimilates a creature-only card except a human or an Eldrazi with mana value 6 or less. Also, this card's power becomes equal to that card's mana value. This feels like some sort of weird mutate card. And when it enters the battlefield, shuffle creature cards from your graveyard and exile into your light. Why do we even have that ability? Why is that even necessary? It's like some weird extra graveyard hate of some sort. Okay, until your next turn. And for Wooburg, this card assimilates a creature-only card. So just a creature card, except a human or Eldrazi with mana value 6 or less. So the card's power becomes equal to that card's mana value. Ah, I see. Interesting. So if it has a 7 mana value, you pay 5 mana, has power of that. Copy only effects and triggers. Oh, hold on. To assimilate, reveal the designed card from your hand or library while assimilated. Oh, this is getting complicated. This card is not on the battlefield. To assimilate, reveal the designed card from your hand or library. While assimilated, replace this card's text with that card. This is too complicated. You gotta clean this up. This is terrible. I don't understand. You have to reveal it from your library so you can just pick up your library and show the card. Anyway, this is way too complicated. Clean it up. Gotta get cleaned up. We're moving on to WoW. I have 4 cards I want to share. Can I pay all at once? No. It's like taking a huge dump. You gotta break it off into like 4 pieces, or you're gonna clog the toilet. Alright, WoW's back here. 3 Eldrazi, sort of. Combined into 1 image. The Herald creature type is meant to replace... Oh, is it called... Okay, hold on. So the post is called 3 Eldrazi, sorta. Okay, I hope I can find it off of that. Combine into 1. Alright, let's take a look at this. Null Caddy's Repeller. That's gotta be an AI-generated name. There's gotta be AI-generated. No shot you came up with that yourself. So we have 1 colorless, 3 generic for a 3/3 Eldrazi Herald. Ward. Discard 2 cards with 1 or more colors. There you go. You got 1. So hold on. You have 3. Okay, it was not... Okay, well, no, we're gonna judge this card. Ward, discard 2 cards with 1 or more colors. Sure. Okay, that's fine. It's pretty lukewarm, honestly. It's very, very watered down. I don't think there's anything broken or busted about this whatsoever. Sure, you want it? It's fine. It's all yours. Crimson Wolf with the super chat. Pennywise the Clown / Deadlights. So is this a 2-sided card? Is that what you're telling me, Crimson Wolf? Since when is Pennywise a blue card? What do you guys think? If Pennywise... Oh, no, it's Demir. Okay, that makes some sense. I think that makes a little bit more sense. So for Demir, we have a 4 loyalty horror. +1, exile each creature with toughness 2 or less from the battlefield. Draw a card for each creature. You mean exile? I'm assuming each creature exiled this way. Exile each creature with toughness 2 or less. That's broken. That's absolutely broken. I don't even have to look at the rest of this card to know that that is just beyond BS. That's crazy. I think Pennywise would fit the Grixis colors. You know what? That's a pretty good idea, some random dude. That is yeah, you're going up on what's effectively a sweeper. Okay, so it doesn't like deal with the big chunky creatures, but it just annihilates all the small ones. All right, let's look at the -1. Each opponent chooses a creature they control. Those creatures and Pennywise the Clown phase out until your next upkeep. Seems fair. And 0, exile a creature you control, flip Pennywise the Clown. And it flips into the Deadlights, another Planeswalker with apparently no loyalty. +3. Isn't it die instantly? This thing just, it literally dies instantly. If you flip it, you're going to have no state-based actions. You have to give it a loyalty of 1. Or no, hold on. Or does it keep the loyalty of the last side? Maybe that's how the rules work. I could see it like that. Maybe when it flips, it maintains its counters. So whatever it was at, so you went 0, so it still has 4 counters. That's possible. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right, Toilet Duck. I think you're right. We're gonna flip. We're gonna keep the loyalty. So +3. Each player exiles a creature they control, then creates a 0/1 white human creature. Each player exiles a creature they control, so they get to choose. A lot of this is worded a little weird. Just goes to show R&D is they're really looking out for us the way they worded their cards. Pay 0, the Deadlights phases out until your next turn, and then -2, each player exiles half their library, flip the Deadlights. I think the +3 is broken. I also think the +1 is broken. They're both very broken. Especially this thing can go like to 7, right? You just go immediately from like 0 and then you go to 7. That's a very high card. And you're just replacing. Oh, I see. What makes it fair is there is actually a fairness here. You exile the creature and they get a 0/1 white human token, but in the future they can keep exiling the 0/1 white human token so long as it's still there. If I understand this correctly. So maybe it's not supremely broken. That being said, I still think this is I think this is a busted Planeswalker. It has not high enough a cost for all these abilities. So I'm gonna give the thumbs down. Very, very crazy. Okay, so what's now? Oh, we have so many super chats today. Okay, hold on. You know what? Okay, hold on. Wow, you paid for another super chat earlier with this one. So let's go back. Let's go see a second Eldrazi before I get too far. Okay, let's go look at a second Eldrazi. From Wah. Okay, we got Nocati's Terrorizer. For 2 colorless, 2 generic, we have a 3/3 Menace 4. This creature can only be blocked with 4 or more creatures. Completely fair. It's like it's sort of unblockable, but not really. Like it's possible to block it. It's not bad. It looks like WoW loves the Eldrazi. Wants to see some more Eldrazi's in this world. All right, next person up, we have Ratchets. Thanks so much for the super chat. Post called "Feel Like We Need an X Planeswalker." Oh my god. Feel like we need an X Planeswalker. So far, every X Planeswalker has been unplayable. I guess it's hard to balance these types of cards, though. If you make the card too good, it will be too broken and just overpower the format. Oh, God. Okay, Wooburg and X for an X mana Planeswalker. It's a Hydra. Maybe I can zoom in on here. How do we zoom in on... Whoops. How do I zoom... What's going on here? Okay, this is good enough. Hydra. Dormant. Whenever it's Zetraxios Spark Hydra. Whenever it has 10 or more loyalty counters on it, it awakens. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, put a loyalty counter on Zetraxios. Okay, it's pretty hard to do, to be honest. You can't consistently do that. -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each Hydra you control. -6, search your library for a permanent with X in its mana cost and put it onto the battlefield. Treat X for that permanent to be equal to the number of Hydras you control, then shuffle your library. -12, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, double the value of X for that permanent. Zetraxios Spark Hydra can be your commander. I think this is fair. All of these are really hard to use, and you would have to build your deck hardcore to make it work. Prove me wrong, people. And there's like no plus abilities to this. Its whole purpose is to just drain its loyalty. Cast it with a bunch of loyalty, drain the loyalty, it dies, and you can bring it back from the command zone. I actually think this is pretty fair. I mean, maybe there's some way to break this that I don't know. Maybe it's a feature, not a bug, that you can kill your own planeswalker to bring it back with the commander tax, bigger and better than before. Or can I make custom cards? I don't know. I just review them. I rate them. I don't make them. Someone in the comment section will help you. This is pretty interesting, honestly, just so mana intensive, and that's what makes it fair. What can I say? That's what makes it fair. All right, we're going to look at more of these beautiful custom cards, especially by your guys' design. But we got to thank our sponsors today, FusionGamingOnline.com. If you want to step aside from making fake cards and get into the realm of buying some real cards, you know where to do it and support the channel. It's at FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, save 15% off all non-tournament legal sets. That's right, you know, you can get your Black Border Badlands from those collector edition things. And by the way, if 15% off is not enough for you, you can get an additional 5% off when you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Supports the channel and it saves you money. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. You can you love custom cards. You might also like customizing your deck any way you want. And you can do that with the entire card pool of Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_EK2. Okay, back to the crazy, wacky custom Magic the Gathering cards. You guys flooded me with super chats. You flooded me with super chats like we're not gonna do this ever again. Okay, now we got Flo Nino again. Silver Towers. Silver Towers. I guess it has something to, I guess it might have something to do with Merfolk or something. Silver Towers, legendary land. It's an artifact. Tap, add a colorless. Tap, exile a card from your graveyard. Add 1 mana of the color of that card. So it's like a weird Deathrite Shaman, except we don't net mana because this is literally a land. And you can pay to put Silver Towers on top of your library. But why? Why would you want to do that? I don't get it. Is there like some flavor to this that I'm not familiar with? I'm not sure about. I don't know anything about this. Silver may be better than gold, it says. This is super fair. It's 100% fair. I mean, easy pass. There's no way that it's broken. And yeah, I mean, some people would say, oh, it's an artifact, it's broken. No, who cares? There's a million artifact lands out there already, and there's nothing broken about it. Put Silver Towers on top of your library. Oh, is there a way to break this with Tatyova? Oops, got the caps lock on. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain 1 life and draw a card. But you don't really net that much, right? You have to pay 2 mana for that. It doesn't really change anything, in my opinion. In my opinion. For what, you want to dodge Wasteland? Is that the only reason? You should just give it indestructible, and probably that would be fine. I thought that the text in parentheses was clear enough to explain the mechanic. How do I make it even clearer? I don't know. That's up to you. I'm not here to review those cards. I just rate them. I'm not here to give feedback. I mean, I give you... it's just not clear. It's not clear at all. It's very complicated to read. It's, you know, a lot of good mechanics. You just understand it with like one sentence, and you had like a paragraph in order to explain it. So if you want to make it, if it would be as simple as, because I believe your card was assimilate. If it was as simple as just making the power equal to a target creature's mana cost on the battlefield, that'd be easy. But you had like reveal cards from your library. Like, when do we ever do that? Since when do we have access to just pick up our library? You know what I mean? So you got to clean it up. That was in regards to the assimilate mechanic. Okay, got hold on. Do we have any other super chats? Waz, just throwing out these things. Thanks so much for all the super chats. Let's go back. We're gonna go back to WA. Okay, we got I think there's a few more. Maybe there's 4 of them in here. Nilcadi's Purifier. So for colorless, and 2 generic, we have a 3/3 Eldrazi Herald. If a player's mana pool has 2 or more if a player's mana pool has 2 or more color of a single color, convert all mana of that color in excess of 1 to colorless. If a player's mana pool has 2 or more mana of a single color, convert all mana of that color in excess of 1 to... Oh, so basically... So you can't have too much colored mana. That is very bizarre, but very interesting. At the beginning of the end step, if you control Nilcadi's Repeller and Nilcadi's Terrorizer, exile them and this card. If you do, search your library and or hand for Nilcadi's Cleanser from Beyond and put into play. 3 who will come, your end will be final. All right. Okay, so this is an interesting card. I think this is a very unique ability. It's almost like a prison card. Like, if your cards cost blue, 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 or black, 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 all of a sudden you can't cast them. Or at least not easily. I don't know how to eat. No, but yeah, basically any excess colored mana in your mana pool just turns colorless. Pretty neat design. Okay, what are we looking for with all 3 of these cards? Nilcadi Cleanser from Beyond. With the mana cost means nothing because we're going to try to cheat it in play. Legendary creature Eldrazi. It's a 9/9. Menace 4. Sorry, Menace 4. Ward, discard 2 cards with 1 or more colors. If a player's mana pool has 2 or more mana of a single color, convert all mana of that color in excess of 1 to colorless. Is this going to be, like, broken as your commander? I'm not sure. And then when Nilcadi's Cleanser from Beyond is put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library. So it's like, it has that Eldrazi feel to it. It is interesting. Okay, but why do we want to hose mono in 2-color strategies? If a player's mana pool has 2 or more mana of a single... Well, I mean, that's the whole idea. It's like Iona in a weird way. It's a weird Iona. But it's complicated, so it's hard to get out. So I'm gonna allow it. It can't be No, it can't be commander. Why not? It says so. Why can't it be a commander? Literally, it's just a legendary creature. As I understand, commander, it can be or you're just saying you can't cheat it in play if it's a commander. It's a 12-drop. It probably should do something to restrict both colors in colorless decks. It will have to be a colorless deck, but it needs color cards in deck. Can't work at... Why not? Why does it need to have color cards in the deck? It could be completely colorless, right? If I understand this correctly. I don't see any yeah, it's colorless colorless legal Iona, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, it's gonna pass! Alright, let's get through them super chats. People with your super chats. All right, we got Francis C. Where can I post my cards? I have a Nintendo theme. You go to Custom Magic on Reddit. It's called Custom Magic. I see you see that R Custom Magic at the top. It's got 56,000 members. No wonder some of my videos get like 20,000 views. Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way. Next is Wing of Shoe. Thanks so much for the super chat. I know of one, not directly mine, that with a simple Google search shows, and it's from DeviantArt. Is that a valid method? Nope, sorry. I don't want to run... There are all sorts of people that are like, oh, go find my card here, go find it. The show only flows if you have it on Custom Magic. This is as far... I used to not search these things up, but searching it up on Custom Magic makes it really easy. Because otherwise, I'll dig, and then I may or may not find your actual card. Valerio, Rush Hour Wizardry. So just get it on Custom Magic and we good. Wizardry. Could be a funny staple, apparently. X. Apply effects basing on the mana spent to cast this spell. Okay, so based on... It's like, Sunburst, almost. Or maybe not. But it's, you know, it's keeping track of what color mana you spend on it. Add 1 mana of any color for each colorless. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature for each white. Tap a creature for each blue. Put a -1/+1 counter on each creature for each black. Deal 2 damage to a creature for each red. Untap a creature for each green. Creature with hexproof and shroud are unaffected by these effects. I don't understand. And 1 mana of any color? Oh, so you can filter colorless mana for colored mana. I get it. Neat card. Is this broken? Hold on. Whoa. Let's wait. Whoops. Let's wait a second. Is this broken? It's like a colorless answer to anything, and it's instant speed. Okay, it's an X mana instant speed, potentially sweeper. So we can put counters on a creature for each white, tap a creature for each blue, put a -1/-1 counter for each. So it is a black sweeper and a red sweeper. Okay, that's broken. It's got to be a source. I think as a sorcery, this would be fair. Creatures with hexproof and shroud are unaffected by these effects. Why doesn't it target? Tap. Yeah, the templating sucks. But we basically understand what it's trying to do. But I think, anyway, this card is completely broken. 100% broken. It's like a crazy, and it's like a crazy cryptic command. You could like basically do anything with this card at instant speed. And almost everyone should play it. I mean, okay, you get the most out of it with Wooburg, but whatever. I think it's a pretty broken card. Next one, Crimson Wolf. Thanks very much for the super chat. Jaws/Nikachu. Jaws/Nikachu. Jaws. Blue, Phyrexian. Just gotta throw that Phyrexian in there. Jaws has been completed, apparently. Legendary creature. It's a 6/4 shark with Island Walk and Vigilance. Shark spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Other sharks you control get +2/+2 Vigilance and Island Walk. Are there any other sharks in this game? Are there any other sharks in this game? Oh yeah, well, I mean, I guess there's Shark Typhoon. Okay, is it a creature? I guess it's a shark. I don't know. I've never paid close attention to those creature types. Whenever a shark you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/1 shark token. So any shark you control, and it's good. Okay, so, why does that have Vigilance? It's a weird thing. Shark spells you control cost 2. I don't even know what shark spells there are out there to know if this would be actually broken. Other sharks you control get +2/+2 Vigilance and Island Walk. So it's like a Super Lord for 4 mana. Technically, don't all sharks already have Island Walk? They're sharks! Well, apparently the one from Shark Typhoon doesn't have Island Walk, it flies, which is really bizarre, as far as I'm concerned. There are sky sharks. Yes, there's Sharknadoes out there. Anyway, okay, it looks broken, to be honest, but I don't know how it's abused. Because I don't know how many sharks there are out there. It could be one of those things where It's like the Eldrazi. It's fine so long as there's very few Eldrazi that, you know, have synergy with each other. Then one day, if they make a bunch of one-drop sharks, then will just be broken in half instantly overnight. When will R&D change Island Walk to swim? Probably not. Well, maybe that's when they'll reword it so that they can bring Land Walk back. Sky Sharks are OP versus Blimps. Yeah. Oh, the Changelings. Maybe this is a card that breaks Changelings. This card is pretty broken. Island, it gives like all Changelings Island Walk Vigilance +2/+2, and then makes more sharks. But it does cost 4 mana at least. So, alright. Costs 4 mana at least. What else do we got here? Francis is back. Thanks so much, Francis. Francis C. Nintendo cards. I'm gonna look at one. France, it's reversible and makes tokens. It's a bit overpowered. The hero, I love this. You're my hero for making Nintendo cards. All right, for Selesnya, 3 generic, we got a 4/3 human warrior. It's Link, probably. It's the only Hero of Time I know of. I don't know if there's more Hero of Times out there that I don't know about. Let me know. Trample Vigilance, Double Strike. Oh, come on. Did Link really have... I guess Link did have Double Strike. He'd have, like, the sword attack. He had Triple Strike as far as I'm concerned. Okay, 4/3. Whenever the Hero of Time attacks, create a 1/1 green fairy creature token named Navi the Fairy with sacrifice You're sacrificing Navi? How do you do that? You were never allowed to do that in the game. That's a flavor fail. Sacrifice Navi the Fairy, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. If the Hero of Time would die, instead prevent damage and transform him. What are you getting transformed into? The Hero's Shade. Okay, I'm really out of the loop when it comes to the Legend of Zelda lore, because I don't remember this happening in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Trample Vigilance Double Strike, a 5/4 creature. When the Hero's Shade dies, create a 3/3 white aura enchantment token named the Hero's Spirit attached to target creature. The token has enchant, creature has Trample Vigilance Double Strike and Totem Armor. This is a weird card. Okay, hold on. So let's evaluate it just based on this. When it attacks, create a 1/1 green fairy creature token named Navi. With sacrifice this, you can prevent all combat damage. If Hero of Time would die, instead prevent that damage and transform it. So it doesn't die, but it does cost 5 mana. It's really hard to die, to be honest. You think a danger? Maybe a danger. That's from the Twilight Princess. Okay, what do you guys think? I have no idea how to explain this. Navi dies in the game. Oh my god, spoilers! It's okay. I'm fine with I'm one of those people that you can tell me spoilers. I'm all good with it. It's all good. Card seems super push for 5 CMC and it's ridiculously easy to cast. All right. We'll give it the thumbs down here. Very pushed card. It's 1 Soul Ring and it's basically out by like, yeah. Listen! Hey! How did she die? I had no idea. Alright, we got Wing of Shu back with the super chat. Alright, done. Shaka, Virgo is name. Shaka Virgo. Shaka Virgo. For 5 mana, it's Planeswalker. 5 loyalty. +1, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turn. That's fair. +1, put a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with flying into play. That's also fair. -8, for the rest of the game, non-land permanents you control have protection from all colors and shroud. Everything is fair about this card. 100% pass. In some ways, you know, you probably could have pushed this a little bit more in some direction. 5 mana for a... you could probably make something with 3... You could put 3 colorless spirit creature tokens with flying into play, and that'd probably still be fair. It'd be something like... What's it called? What's her face? Elspeth. Hero of something. Okay, Waz back. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look at some free cards. You guys are monopolizing the time. Some people out here, they're like just hoping, hey, I hope I show up on Nikachu MTG. Okay, blue-green. For a Drake, it's a 3/3 flyer. When Hungry Drake enters the battlefield, destroy target creature with flying. Holy crap! It's basically, okay, so it's like a Delver Destroyer. Destroys Murktides. It must eat something. Well, that flavor text is great. It's a good card, but it only destroys flyers. And what's interesting is that it destroys itself. So in the mirror, it's just them. Yeah, it can eat itself. It can. Destroy. And it has to destroy something, by the way. So if you have no target, Hungry Drake will just eat itself. This thing's actually fair and balanced. I like it, actually. It's a pretty cool card. I like it. It's a great answer, and you can't use this proactively, and it's not because it's not a May. When it enters the battlefield, if there's nothing to eat, you eat yourself. Orzhov Loan for 1 white enchantment. Orzhov Loan enters the battlefield, you gain 10 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an interest counter on Orzhov Loan. Then you lose 1 life for each interest counter on Orzhov Loan. Black, 3 generic. Target player gains control of Orzhov Loan. This is weird. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an interest counter. Then you lose 1 life for each interest counter on target player. So you like basically give it to somebody, and they keep losing the accumulated amount of counters on it. Interesting. Definitely fair. Interesting political card, too. But what if you give it to the person without any black mana? They're screwed. They like, oh, I can't pay this damn thing. I guess that's the idea. The Orzhov Loan. What do we got next? Baby... Baby Siege Rhino. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to give it a pass. Alright, so for a green and an Orzhov, it's a 2/3 trample. When Baby Siege Rhino enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Aw, do I have an aw sound effect? I got nothing. Damn it. That's cute, actually. Alright, let's get back to the Super Chats. Super Chats! People run the show around here. Next one is from Wa. Nolkadi. What is this one? Nolkadi. The 3 Heralds. The 3 Heralds, put together are him. Oh, hold on. Oh, did we look at this one already? Did we look at it? It was just part of your 3. Yeah, I think we already looked at this. If I'm mistaken, let me know, Wow. But I think we already looked at your thing. Flonito, Lotus Revival. Thank you very much for the super chat. Lotus Revival. In black, apparently. Alright, for 1 Phyrexian mana. For a Phyrexian. So you're trying to make Black Lotus balanced, Flonino. That's what you're trying to do. Many have tried. Will you succeed? Very unlikely, in my opinion. Okay, so for 1 Phyrexian black, legendary artifact, tap, sacrifice Lotus Revival, add 2 mana of any color to your mana pool. It's already broken. So basically, it's a superior Lotus Petal, even if you have to spend life to do it. And I mean, who cares about the life in Commander either? And then what is it? When Lotus Revival is in your graveyard, you may pay black 2 generic. If you do, oh my god. It's just beyond stupid broken. This is completely broken. No way in hell. Does anyone have any defense for this card? Any at all? It's legendary artifact. It's the only artifact you need. So, so you get some free storm out of this, because you can spend 2 mana and 4 life to reuse this card. It's like a free storm card. Lotus is already broken. As if we need more broken Lotuses around here. Okay, next we've got Ratchets. More Planeswalker commanders. Dragons? Dragons. Let's look up dragons. Oh, we got Sarkhan, Dragon Savior for red green, 5 generic, 4 loyalty. Very fair so far. Sarkhan Dragon's Savior can be your commander. Of course! You commander players will do everything you can to make your favorite planeswalkers your commander. Draconic Sympathy. Whenever a dragon you control dies, put a loyalty counter on Sarkhan Dragon Savior. That's a neat mechanic! I like that mechanic. That is a cool mechanic right there. I like the idea. Something dies, you get loyalty counters. Okay, +2. Create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. -6. Gain control of target dragon until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste until end of turn. That's super fair. And then -9. Dragons you control get +X/+X and gain trample until end of turn, where X is the number of dragons you control. Very balanced. I think this is a very balanced card. Very expensive, too. Nice card. Very nice. There be dragons. There be dragons around here. Zamfo. Zamfofex. I'm not particularly familiar with MTG, but I found your VODs enjoying to watch somehow. Oh, you're welcome. It's my first time catching a stream live. You're welcome. Enjoy Zamfofex. It's funny. Yeah, there's a good chunk of people. They're like, I don't even know anything about this game. But you know what? I like your vibes, Nikachu, so I'm around anyway. Hey, and by the way, and like I tell a lot of people who don't play MTG very much, you can play for free on MTG Arena. It's available on mobile, desktop, for PC and Mac. It's free, completely free. I mean, sure, you can pay money to get ahead faster, but you can unlock free rewards for nothing. Heavenly Gates, my attempt at making Gates slightly better. Again, many have tried. Will you be the one to succeed? Heavenly Gates. Ooh, I like these land ones. I like the land ones. Okay, Legendary Gate. When Heavenly Gates enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 or sacrifice it, and it's a gate itself. You have to basically spend mana to get the mana. Gates you control enter the battlefield untapped. Okay. And if you control 5 or more gates you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. I honestly don't even know if this is going to help gates all that much. It's completely fair. There's nothing broken about this at all. I thought you were going to have something like... I have no idea how to make... Like, gates you control add 2 mana instead of 1. I bet you could get away with that, especially since when this enters the battlefield, you have to pay 2 mana. So you have to take a turn off your turn 3. So turn 3, you basically have to sink 2 mana into this thing, do nothing. I bet you could have pushed this a little bit more, in my opinion. And now I said slight. Well, slightly it is. It's slightly you succeeded. Okay, what's next? Let's look at Tastefully Nerd. Purring Up a Storm. What is this, Cat Storm? Purring Up a Storm. A Modern Horizon style. Ooh, we got a kitty on a... what looks like... looks like an Atog to me. Purring Up a Storm. White, white, instant. Create a 0/1 white cat creature token with... when this creature enters the battlefield, choose target creature. The chosen creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated as Storm. Neat card! Very unique ability. So basically, so long as it's on the battlefield, it's like a pacifism that you can kill. But as Storm. This is completely fair. It's probably annoying. A lot of people are like, okay, which of my cards is like affected by your cats? There's a cat. Yeah, there's a cat, so it passed. Says that death cat wallow. Oh, thank you very much, Zick. Welcome back. Catch the stream again. Anyway, I think this is a really unique design space where you and a harmless creature enters the battlefield and basically locks down another creature and has Storm. So it's like a weird, like even if you storm off, it's not like you win the game from this. So it's like just a weird sweeper that you have to work for. All right, let's look at some free cards. Going back to the free cards, the Traveler, black, white, 1 generic for a 0/2 Skeleton Bard. Story retold. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may exile it instead. If you do, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with all activated and triggered abilities of cards exiled by the storyteller this turn. Very unique design. I love it. So basically, the creature didn't really die. It died, but it comes back as a 1/1. It actually is doing something flavorful in this game. I don't know, like, we have spirit creatures, right? Where did the spirits come from? And in this case, okay, the creature dies, it gets exiled, but it comes back as a spirit with all the abilities, everything that it could do in its regular human form. Cool card. I like it. Next up, we got Tapak, the Winding River. It be a merfolk. It's a blue 3 generic. Oh, it's a god. Doesn't look like it. It looks like a normal Ixalan merfolk. Alright, 4/4 with Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, target merfolk you control becomes a copy of Tapak, the Winding River, except it isn't legendary. This is very fair. I don't even know how I'm going to get Ascend with this card. Very fair card. Okay, Core of the Blind Eternities. 3 generic legendary artifact. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. If this mana is spent to cast a Planeswalker spell, that Planeswalker enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on it. Planeswalkers you control have all abilities of other Planeswalkers you control that share a Planeswalker type with it. What? Core of the Blind Eternity. Isn't there a card called something similar to this? Add 1 mana of any color. The mana was spent to cast a Planeswalker spell. The Planeswalker enters the battlefield with 1 extra loyalty. And then Planeswalkers you control have abilities of all other Planeswalkers you control that share a Planeswalker type with it. I don't get it. Oh, so like if I have a Jace, I get all the Planeswalker abilities of the other Jace? I think that's how I understand this thing. Because they all have the same Planeswalker type, right? I mean, they're all Planeswalkers, so the only other type would be... Yeah, I think all Jaces have the abilities of the other Jaces. Neat card! I think this is a neat card. Very unique. I don't think it's broken. I guess there's a way of maybe, like, you cast a big Planeswalker with a lot of loyalty, like a big Chandra, and then it gets the abilities of a little Chandra that has, like, a really high-cost loyalty, and then, I don't know, maybe you ultimate or something. Bolus's team, let's go! It needs to be more expensive. It's like a mana rock. It's a mana ramp. Anyway, I think it's fine. Alright, paywalled, guys. Alright, everyone on the paywall. We got Francis C. again with the paywall. Safer Sephiroth. Safer... So it's not going to be the one-winged angel. It's going to be a no-winged angel. Sephiroth. So I'm going to take it you made a more dangerous Sephiroth in the past. Your Sephiroths in the past did danger. 7 mana for foil loyalty Sephiroth. +2 target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. That's fine. Okay, -2. Up to 2 target creatures each gain Annihilator 2 until end of turn. Oh, God. I guess that's okay. And then -12, you get an emblem with creatures your opponents control lose all abilities and are 1/1 colorless frog creatures named Toad. Safer Sephiroth can be your commander. Of course it can be your commander. I think this is okay. I think it's okay. It doesn't do anything immediately broken. It requires requires creatures on the board in order to do anything. And it's only Annihilator 2, which I think is incredibly fair. Broke. I don't think this is that broken. Like, what? Okay, let's say you give your creatures Annihilator 2 and your opponents just kill them. Then what? Power Stones can't cast Sephiroth? Absolutely. That's correct. Only artifacts, right? Only the artifacts. Yeah, only the second ability is decent. So, completely fair card. It was very fair. It is a safe Sephiroth. Now I'm curious what the dangerous Sephiroth was like. What was the dangerous Sephiroth? Gustavo, thank you very much for the super chat. GM Dark Souls. GM Dark Souls. Can I look for it through this? Seath the Scarless. Can I look at maybe Seath the Scaleless? Got it. Got him. Alright, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a blue 4 generic 4/6 creature. Ancient Dragon. Does that have to have ancient in the creature type? Is that necessary? Flying, period. You know it's serious when they use the period there. When Seath, the scaleless, enters the battlefield, create a colorless legendary artifact token named Primordial Crystal. Man, you people are just trying to it's like you make custom cards to squeeze in a second card on the first card. Seath the Scaleless is indestructible and has hexproof as long as you control an artifact named Primordial Crystal. Whenever Seath the Scaleless deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. I guess it's okay. It's 6 mana. It's a clunker. It's a clunker, if you ask me. Now we're in Dark Souls. I see. I'm not familiar with Dark Souls, so I didn't know. I know my Nintendo and I know Final Fantasy VII. Don't ask me about the other ones. Valerio is back. Thank you very much. Leyline of Indifference. Oh, this should be interesting. Leyline of Indifference. I don't see it here. Leyline of Indifference from some time ago. It's not called that though. I don't see it here. Leyline of the Void, Permanence, Confluence, Bureaucracy. It should pop up right at the top if the title is right. I think your title is wrong. Unless you called it something else. Leyline of Indifference. I got it exactly here. Sorry, Valerio. We don't have the right name. Okay, who's next? Wing of Shu. Milo. Thanks for the super chat. Scorpio. Okay, Milo Scorpio. We got blue, red, 2 generic for a 4 loyalty Milo. +1, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, then put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Sounds good. -1. It's strong, but you know what? I don't think it's OP. So it's like, this is what Ren and 6 should have been. 4 mana for what it was doing. -1 creatures you control gain Death Touch and First Strike until the beginning of your next upkeep. Very interesting design. So it's not until end of turn, so you can put your creatures on good defense. And then -6. Till end of turn, permanents you control gain tap. This permanent deals 1 damage to target creature or player. I love it. Really fair card. Very good, fair value. Oh, name of the post is When You're Like Whatever. All right. We're going to get back to When You're Like Whatever. Yeah, because we need the name of the post. Okay, found it. Leyline of Indifference. Colorless, 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 colorless. If Leyline of Indifference is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Creatures lose all abilities and are colorless. So basically, we're playing vanilla from here on out. Players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. That is interesting. Players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. It should just say, oh, the converted mana cost of every card is just colorless or something like that, or just generic mana. So you can cast anything with any color, and then creatures will lose abilities and they're colorless. So it's just, yeah. Vanilla beats today, exactly. I like it. It sounds strategically useful. It would probably be a very unfun card to play against. Because all you have to, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, 5/5s for 4 mana, or like would just completely outclass somebody's 1 mana 2/1, for example. Ragavan 1 mana 2/1. Eat your heart out. Oh, that doesn't work for spells that required colorless mana. Players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Or maybe this just hoses creature death. I mean, it's not humility, right? It's not humility. It also doesn't erase devotion. Yeah, but what are you going to use devotion for, if anything? Imagine having to sideboard vanilla creatures to beat this. I think you would just win with spells. Like, this would be really good in... I think it would be good in some sort of combo deck that just wants to slow the opponents down. I think. Yeah, it's like Dress Down for Eternity. Oh, players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. No, you can't tap your force for green. Yeah, spells are combo deck. Or maybe a control deck. I don't know. Like, a control deck could still lose to this. Make no mistake. I mean, you can still... There's still creatures out there. You're spending... Like, Murktide would still enter the battlefield as a 3/3 with all its counters. Like, it loses its ability when it enters the battlefield, but it still gets the ability, I think, when you cast it. Yeah, it loses all abilities. This is a really cool card. I would be very curious to see how this plays out. Very unique design. Surprised no one's ever done this one before. Zamphofex with the super chat. Thanks so much. What if it didn't say lose all abilities? Then everyone would still get their abilities. Like like a Tatiova, for example. So the abilities is basically anything in the text box, with the aside from the flavor text. So if it loses all its abilities, then whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you don't gain a life and you don't draw a card. So if it didn't say lose all abilities, then we still get all that text in the text box here. That is the dealie. That is the dealie around here. But yeah, you can't necessarily cast Eldrazi with this. Probably should read players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color, as though it were colorless mana or something like that. You can cast Eldrazi's. Why not? Players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. You can still tap your colorless lands for colorless mana if you need to. Death Shadow actually laughs. Yeah, it does, actually. It could backfire in that way. 1 mana, 13/13. Ha 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 ha. I have no abilities anymore? That's going to backfire on you. Beautiful. Really cool card. All right, back to the freebies. The freebie section, but the highly rated section. Evan Sense Sage. Blue for a 1/1 Merfolk Wizard. Tap, add a blue. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. If you spend this mana to cast a creature, it has at the beginning of your next end step, return that creature to its owner's hand. Oh no, that sucks. It was almost amazing. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell, and if you spent this mana to cast a creature spell, it has at the beginning of your end step, return. I don't like it. Okay, it's fair. I will give it this. It is fair, but it seems unplayable. Whenever it has the claws, you gotta like bring it back to your hand. I mean, there's no point to it anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. Is there any good use to this? Maybe the designer wanted to like loop Silvergill Adept over and over again. I mean, I guess it tries to take advantage of ETBs, but you'll just tempo yourself out. You'll badly tempo yourself out with this. Could you use it to abuse creatures with ETB? Not like... I mean, maybe in Commander you can. Maybe in Commander you can. I'm thinking of this like competitively and like Pioneer, Modern, Legacy. Just ain't gonna do it. That's actually a pretty good one to use over and over again. Yeah, the Snapcaster Mage. Okay, maybe it's real. Maybe it could be busted. It just won't be busted for a Merfolk. Maybe it's gonna be good for a Wizard deck. Them Wizard decks are gonna like this. It's a funny wizard. All right, moving on. We got Atraxa, Herald of Norn. Black, blue, white, green for a 4/4 Phyrexian Angel, Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, exile target creature you don't control, then create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 3/3 white Phyrexian Angel with Flying and Toxic 1. Is this a real card, by any chance? Move your end step, exile target. Is this like, am I getting trolled here? Is this like one of the latest Atraxas, and they just were like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this on custom Magic, even though this is a real card. It looks like a real card. Beam your end step, exile target creature you don't control, then create a token of that's a copy of it. It's a 3/3. I think it's fine. It's pretty at the beginning of. It's only at the beginning of our end step, not at the beginning of every end step. So if like in a multiplayer game, I'm only gonna exile one creature a turn. Conabusto, kill stuff every turn. No, not every. Only my turn at the beginning of my end step. So like in a Commander game, only at the end of my turn. Not if it said at the beginning of each end step. Then we screwed. Then it'd be danger. Then it danger big time. Oh, we got Bro Man. Drawing Wizard 4 days ago. Drawing Wizard. I love me some wizards. Drawing Wizard. All right. It's a 1/1 for 1 blue mana. It is a wizard. It's not a human, however. It's funny. Most wizards are humans. This looks like... Actually, this might not be a human. This could be an elf. You look at them pointy ears. Or is it a Vulcan? Okay, pay blue, tap, put a stun counter on drawing wizard, draw a card. It draw. I like the flavor text. So a stun counter is like, it does not... At your untap step, you have to remove the stun counter and it doesn't untap. And then next turn you can untap it as normal. So basically once every turn, every other turn you draw a card. What do you guys think? Yeah, it read. It elf. And it draw. It do draw. That's right. It draw. It draw good. I'm inclined to believe that this is a very fair card. It's actually pretty strong. I will not say, like, in limited, this is probably a really good card because you just hold up your stuff and, like, every other turn you draw a card. That's not bad. It looks like a card that could exist. Are you implying, Broccoli, that all the other cards today don't exist? Packer even thinks it's fair. All right, so it'd be fair. Huntroid said, "No, this is broken. It's broken. Don't even try it. We're not printing this damn thing." All right, let's look at one. We probably have a time for one more freebie today. Friendship Bracelet for blue and green. A lot of cards on here. Okay, artifact. An opponent of your choice draws a card. Oh, so you can't draw your own card. An opponent of your choice adds 2 colorless. An opponent of your choice creates a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. An opponent of your choice gains hexproof until end of turn. Is there a point where, like, a group hug card is too broken? Like, what if it says an opponent of your choice gets 10 mana? Like, isn't that broken? I guess this is all very subtle things. An opponent of your choice gains hexproof until end of turn. So at the, yeah. Care Bears countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You think about it, the Care Bears are really creepy. They're they've got these magical powers. Should have been in the MPL set. Get this group hug crap out of here. Brad, you are the best/worst friend in Commander. An opponent gets a turn 1. So yeah, basically. They get, but you can only use one ability a turn, right? Unless you got Voltaic Key. Or that other one. I can't remember. There's another key. Broken in Pentagram. Shred. Yeah, super group hug card. Teletubbies are also weird. Why do they have TVs in their body? Yeah, you know what? I was wrong. I wasn't thinking of the Care Bears. I was thinking of the Teletubbies. Super creepy. It's time to get distracted. This is creepy stuff. I never watched the Teletubbies when I was a kid. I think it was probably for the better. This is a very, very creepy toy thing. Who approved this? Who thought that this was a good idea? This is just scary looking. Anyway, I'm gonna say this is fair. It passed, as far as I'm concerned. It's pretty strong. It's pretty strong for a group hug card, but I don't think it's too broken. Malicious Tribute, Rakdos colors, red, black, blue, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Gain control of target creature with mana value equal to or less than the sacrificed creature's mana value. Super fair. You sack and you get. And you can't, like, sack a 1/1 token. You gotta throw away something big if you want to get big. You want something big. All right, that was oh god, you people. You're gonna throw in some super chats at the end, huh? So you're gonna do that. All right, the show ends when the super chats end. Saga, Gemini, you mentioned group hug. Wing of Shu will show us group hug. Saga Gemini, you love planeswalkers. Huge fan of planeswalkers. Black, blue, white for a 3 loyalty Saga +2. Each player gains 2 life. Then each player draws a card, then discards a card. Everyone draws a card. Look under your seats, everyone. Everyone's going to get some life and draw a card and loot. -1, each player sacks a creature. Then each player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Well, that's not pleasant. But that's a fair ability. It goes from 3 loyalty to 1, so to -1, so 2 loyalty in the end. And then -8, which looks impossible to get to. Gain control of target creature, then put target creature card in a graveyard into play under your control. Then put a target creature card in a graveyard. That's pretty broken, but you know what? Honestly, I think it's hard to get to. That's a fair card. I like it. It passes. And we got Smelly Squid getting in there. Last second. Was inspired at church to make this card. Was inspired at church to make this card. Does something to do with the collection plate. Ordained Liturgist. I don't know what that means. Green Selesnya, 1 generic for a 1/2 human cleric. Tap, sacrifice 2 food tokens, create a blood token, and then pay 1, tap, discard a... Oh, is that it? Sacrifice 2 food tokens, create a blood token. Oh, and create a colorless 1/1 human god token. Interesting. We pray to bless, acknowledge, and approve this offering in every respect. I don't know if the church likes that you're making god tokens, but outside of that, I think this is very fair. Super fair. And Ramp Effects with the super chat. Thanks so much. What if viewers keep sending super chats for forever? Then the show goes on. Oh, I won't stop it. But it appears it has ended. All right, so that's it for today. If you ever want to be a part of the show, you want to contribute your custom cards, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. For the custom card players, we do this once every 2 weeks, so once every 2 Wednesdays, so make sure you're on every other Wednesday for the custom card day. Thanks everyone for your support. It's because of you guys I show up every day to do this. Either you support in the super chats, with the memberships, or you're a patron on Patreon. I love it. Thank you so much to everybody. But the most important part are you guys that show up in the morning here. People like PM and Zamp Effects and Jay. We got Jay Gaston, Levy, Michael Praise, Shimon, Zik, Fior, Abzo, Flo Nino, John Grounds. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, because without you guys, I'd have no show. So as usual, keep bringing up those coffees, my coffee crew, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next